So I'm with the LFA Strawweight Champion, Piera Rodriguez. How are you today?
Ooh, really, really good. Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me.
My pleasure, my pleasure. And I appreciate you coming on, taking your time to come on the podcast. Did you just get back from training? How's your day been?
No, I've been doing a lot of stuff because I'm leaving tomorrow early morning. So I was buying some stuff to the trip, and now I'm here. I've been doing interviews all day also, so
Okay.
busy.
Right. So you've just kind of had your fill then.
Hmm?
You've just kind of had your fill. It's been a long day.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long week. I'm gonna be traveling a lot this week.
Hmm. Can you kind of talk about a little bit about the traveling? Whereabouts are you heading?
Sorry, what?
Can you talk a little bit about the traveling? Where are you heading?
Oh, now I have to come back to Spain. I live in Spain,
Hmm.
so I'm gonna be doing like LA, New York, Portugal, Spain. So it's a really
Right.
long trip, and I was doing the COVID test again, like 100 COVID tests for traveling. Man, it's so hard now to travel.
Uh,
So yeah, I'm going back to my home. I have to train and to get back home, and then I come back soon to the US.
Absolutely. So first off, congrats on winning the title.
Thank you.
And I guess obviously, you've had a lot of stuff going on there. But I saw that you recently been training at Blackhouse MMA.
Yeah.
So can you kind of talk about what facilitated your decision to travel to the US and train at Blackhouse?
Nothing like facilitate me the stuff, but my manager talked with the owners of Black House, and they talk about me, and they were trying to find a place to for me to train well, because in Spain it's really hard to train now, and in the whole Europe community it's really hard to train because of the COVID stuff.
Hmm.
So they told me, you can come train here and you can be part of our team, but it's gonna be hard for you to come here. I have to do some quarantine before. So it was not an easy decision because I knew it was gonna be a lot to deal with, but I make my decision and I said to my manager, you if you think this is a good option for me, if you think I'm gonna be training there good, let's do it, because I need to train and I want to fight soon. So we did it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And obviously, I've seen that you've been training with Vanessa Demopolis, obviously former LFA Strawweight champion. How was that experience?
Oh my God, that's the most fun part of the story. Oh
Right.
my God, she's such a nice girl. She's so cool, man. She's been so good to me since I came here. When I get here and we first met, it was like, so like magic, like such a good feeling. Hey, I'm gonna help you come here, then and we train together every day. And I think she made me so much better since I get here.
Hmm.
She talked to me a lot about her experience and what is to being a champion, and I think I learned a lot from her.
Hmm. And I mean, she has lots of character. And I mean, her being the former champ, was it kind of weird being able to train with her at first, or what was your feelings?
At the first it was like, for me it was nervous. I was
Yeah.
nervous to train with her because everybody knows her, that she's so tough. So but when, like I told you, when we just they introduced us together, it was like, man, magic. I don't know, like a click. Hey, we're partners, we're here to help each other. So we made a great connection, partnership. and it was really nice. It was really easy. It was not so hard and such a big deal like I was expecting. I was expecting more for her to be like more distance, more, I don't know, different. But no, she's such a nice person.
Mm-hmm. And I know that I'm not too sure how many more fights she has on her LFA contract. Um, but I mean, after her last performance, you got to think that she might have potential to fight for the title again.
Yeah, we know. The thing is, I've been training with Tabitha, Richie, and with Vanessa Demopoulos. And we're such a good friends. And we know that it's possible that they match each other at some point.
Mhm.
But I'm really crossing my fingers to they don't do that right now, because we're having so much fun together, and we're training and we're building a relationship on the training so good that it's gonna be really hard to fight with one of them.
But that being said, if when you do, would that kind of give you and those two individuals, would it kind of give you advantage because you already having a feel of how they fight, how you're sparring with them?
Not at all. Not at all. It's absolutely advantage, because I cannot punch with savage, to one of my friend. I cannot I cannot be such violent with one
Mhm.
of my friend. So it's gonna be really hard for me. I think it's absolutely not an advantage.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. And I mean, 2020 has been a tough year for a lot of fighters. With we weren't sure if MMA shows were going to come back, if people were going to be able to fight again. But I guess promotions have been able to put shows back on without any crowds. Now, for yourself, you've had several fights being canceled. With your management's been working hard to find the right fights for you. What was your thought process going through all this, through all these times?
Man, it's been so hard. I last year I have like 4 or 5 fight
Yeah.
canceled.
Hmm.
And in the pandemic I was training at home, with two weights, with two the stuff for weight, for lifting weight, only
Yeah.
two of this in my house, and trying to figure it out, how to do exercise without anything, without being in the gym, without a punching bag, without all of this stuff. But I tell myself, you're locked in a home right now, but you still need to work, because everybody else is gonna try to find a way to work. So you cannot be here seated, because when they open the doors, you need to be ready for whatever they have for you. So that's what I did. I speak with my coaches every day. We did some online classes, and I was trying to train and to keep myself focused all this year. And I think the things were exactly how supposed to be, because if I wasn't doing anything in all the pandemic, all the last year, if I wasn't preparing myself for all that fight cancels that I have, I wasn't be ready for this title shot.
Yeah, and that would just be, I don't know, if I was a fighter, I wouldn't know what to do at that time. Um, with COVID going on and that uncertainty would be difficult for sure.
Uh, if I,
Like
if
it would be really difficult to not know whether you'd be able to fight or not.
Yeah, it's like sometimes you get tired, because you're training and training and training so hard every day,
Hmm.
and you don't even know if you're gonna fight or not. But you have to keep your mindset well done. You have to keep your goal in your head. You have to keep reaching and thinking about what's your next step to be ready for that. It is hard, but if you want it, you can do it. Whatever thing you want in the life, you can do it if you really want it.
Mm-hmm. And that being said, so you've had the opportunity to fight under LFA promotion without any crowds. How did that affect you at all?
I think it was good because I hear more my corner,
Yeah.
and it was like a sparring in the gym. Not so many people there watching, but I mean, it feels like a little bit less tension than when you have all the crowd screaming. But it's not so funny because when you have all the people there and you connect a punch and the people do like, that's fun part. But I don't know, it has some good things and bad things, but I like it. It's okay.
But now with the crowd possibly coming back this year for the LFA organization, is it kind of bittersweet?
Yeah, it is.
Of course, of course. One thing I wanted to touch upon, I wanted to touch upon it. So with your move from Spain to LA, what was the transition like coming from a place like Spain to LA? Because it's a little bit obviously different culture.
Yeah, it's a lot of different in the culture, but I came here only for training, so I don't even know LA. I don't know how is the people here. I don't know how is party here. I don't know what they think here. I only know the gym and the place where I'm staying. So I came here with a goal. I came here with a mission, and I think I haven't have enough time to know about how is the lifestyle here. What I see from the outside, the little things that I've been seeing is a really nice place. The people here is very kind. They always say hello. They say kind words, and it's a really beautiful place. But I didn't have time to enjoy it actually.
Oh, that's too bad. But again, you mentioned that you're just coming here for the training. So
Yeah.
hopefully, possibly, if you do come back, maybe you'll get a little bit of the culture
For
experience as
sure.
well.
For sure, for sure. I'm coming back for sure. And I'm
Uh,
gonna try to enjoy it a little bit more.
do you want to come back and train at the same gym, or are you looking to go somewhere different?
Oh man, I want to come back to train in Blackhouse. They have been so good to me. All the team, my teammates are being such a nice person with me. So I want to come back again to Blackhouse. For sure, I want to visit every other academy that I can and see met other people and met other athletes. But for sure, I'm gonna come back training with Black House because they are giving me such a well treatment here.
Great, that's great to hear. And you're a great, well-rounded fighter. Is that something that makes you such a difficult person to beat?
How
Sorry, I'll try to slow down and rephrase. So, you're such a good, well-rounded mixed martial artist,
okay
and what does that make it harder for other fighters to beat you?
to beat me?
Yes.
Yeah, it's always it's hard to beat me even if I don't have this experience. I'm a tough fighter. It's every day I'm learning more and I'm having more experience. But I'm being a really hard to beat person since the beginning. Most because my personality.
Well, and I mean, and not just that, you're very explosive too. I find from watching, and I feel like you hit hard, and like I find a lot of fighters nowadays have to be well-rounded to be successful?
Can you ask me again, please? Sorry, I
Um,
don't understand some words, so.
oh, no problem. If I could speak Spanish, I would. But like I find nowadays as a mixed martial artist, you have to be well-rounded to be successful.
What is well-rounded?
Well-rounded, like you have to be good on your feet and on the ground.
Oh, for sure. Every day, mixed martial art is a sport more complicated. You know, every day the people in this business is better in the ground and in the feet. So you have to be so complete athlete for being here, for being good in this. Is at the beginning I was just a striker, and sometimes I think they still see me like a striker, like a good striker, like a good boxing person. But
Mhm.
I know every day I'm working so hard in my wrestling, in my jiu-jitsu, in my conditioning, in every other areas, because you cannot just hit hard in this sport. You need so many tools to build a really good career here. You cannot forget about punching, or forget about jiu-jitsu, forget about something. If you miss something, you're gonna get caught.
Oh, 100%. I agree. Um, Now, obviously, a lot of LFA fighters have been signed by the UFC.
Mhm.
Is that something that interests you in the near future?
For sure, yes. Like I tell you, in LFA, the only two options are my friends. So I want to go soon to the UFC so I don't have to fight with my friends.
Well, would the Dana White Contender Series be an option for you as well?
Sure, yeah, for sure. It's not my favorite option, but it's an option for sure.
Okay, and I mean, I think that it wouldn't be a bad option for you as well. Typically, they try to take a lot of fighters with maybe not as much experience or not as many fights. So a lot of people that are like 5-0 or 8-0, 9-0. Um, so if that was an option, would you take it right away, or would you talk with your team? What would be your option?
Well, I'm the fighter and I make the decisions, but I have a whole team back, and I have a manager and they guide me. They make they give me their advice, and I listen a lot to my manager and to my coaches. At the end of the day, I'm gonna make the decision that I feel in my heart. But I like to listen a lot about what they think is the right option for me.
Okay, excellent. And what's probably been the biggest thing you've learned as a fighter and as a person?
uh, that it doesn't matter what, you need to keep fighting in life, in the octagon, in whatever you need. But it doesn't matter how bad is the situation, you cannot give up.
Excellent, excellent. And just last one here for you. I know you said you've been doing interviews all day today. So, um, so do you have an idea? I know you talk about not wanting to fight against Vanessa and your other teammates that you've been training with. But do you have someone else in mind that you like to defend your belt against?
Not to defend the belt because she's already in the UFC. But if I get into the UFC, I would really like to fight Lupita Godinez.
That would be a great fight. I think you and her
Because
would put on a great fight.
we have some kind of style, and we both well, we used to have the same record, and she's so tough. She's half Mexican, and she have this good striking, and I will really, I think that's a good option for me for fight. It's a tough fight, but I like to high goals. You know, I don't like easy stuff. I like to keep improving and to measure myself. You know.
That's great to hear, Piera. Well, Piera, I appreciate you coming on the podcast. You're taking the time to come on and talk about yourself and talk a little bit about being a champion. And hopefully you will get some news, some fight news soon. And we'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you so much.